person I'm going to be interviewing for my series on interviewing people about disability and the ADA and all sorts of types of stuff. So, I have questions on my computer. So the first one is, what was it like whenever you found out from my parents I had CP?
I don't know that that it being specifically CP had much of an effect.
Yeah, or just a disability in general.
I guess I met you with one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so there was never, I think of it like maybe somebody who had a car accident
Yeah.
or something like that and there was a change.
yeah, totally.
In my head,
I've always
joy
had
was always joy.
Yeah.
And that came with a super giggly person
Yeah.
and somebody who called their left hand their baby hand. Do you remember doing that when you were a little kid?
Sort of.
You used to call that was your baby hand. And so it was just always joy.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else about that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was good that you were starting to find out what, diagnosis, which is sort of what this is talking
Yeah.
about. There's a double-edged sword. One
Yeah.
is sometimes it can feel like you're in a box,
Yeah.
but it also can connect you with community,
Yeah.
and you can learn from people who have had similar
Yeah. Totally.
experiences. And so I think I was glad that you had a name for it,
Yeah.
so that way you could start Googling and searching, and
Yes, and YouTubing.
YouTubing, and look at all the stuff that you
Yeah.
found from there, like what is it, No Barriers and
no
things like that.
barriers and everything that I have discovered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much about disability did you know before you met me?
How much?
Like, what did you like? Yeah.
So I know some.
Yeah.
I think anybody with a disability, it's different.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
even any two people with
Yeah.
CP
Yeah.
have
There's a
two
wide spectrum.
exactly have two very different
Yeah.
experiences,
Totally.
or two people who are paraplegic have very different ways
Yeah.
of working with it and adapting to it.
Yeah.
So I probably knew general stuff, but I didn't know specifics like how you were, until I saw you.
Yeah.
What was your version of CP?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I have a learning disability, so I know what that feels like a
Yeah.
little bit, and all the different sort of things that I think or feel about it.
Yeah.
But that's, a very different type of
Yeah.
disability to even somebody who
Yeah.
has dyslexia or things like that.
Yeah.
So, some, not all,
Cool.
and very little of it was about your individual
Yes.
experience.
Yes, because you had never met me up until the point that you actually met me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and what's cool about it is, I don't think you knew.
Yeah.
Right? You've been
Yeah.
discovering this whole thing,
Yeah,
and
totally.
and how you work within it, and so
Yeah.
that was sort of cool to watch. Is I get to sort of learn more about your version of CP as you do,
Yeah.
and you're really good at sharing.
Yes, through the YouTube channel.
Exactly, case in point.
Yes, because most people might not want to listen.
Exactly.
Completely fine sharing my life and sharing it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I get to hear about all the things that you figured out and all the struggles that you have, like your CP moments and
Yes.
things like that. So that's sort of where I learn mostly about your disability,
Yeah.
is from you and with you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. What was it like seeing someone with a disability before you met me and after you met me?
I don't know how different it was. Like I said, I have a learning disability, and so one thing that's unusual is that you don't see it from the outside.
Yeah. It's an invisible disability.
Yeah, unless you try to look at my handwriting or ask me to spell something, then it becomes very
Yes.
plain and clear. And so, but so my version was when I was, I don't know, 10, 12, something like that, is when I was diagnosed with a learning disability. And they actually got me a computer really young.
Yeah.
And so I've had a computer almost my whole life because they had spell check. And it was actually different typing. So I was able to actually be a little bit clearer in thought when I type. And the spell check helped me to basically be able to spell things properly.
Yeah.
Or be able to communicate. So one of the things that I used to do is if I was writing,
Yeah.
I'd have the word in my head, but I couldn't spell it.
Oh.
So I'd eventually cross it out, and I'd write 5 more words that sort of describe the word I was trying to do. And so using a computer, and now Google, I can actually look up how to spell the word I actually want, that I actually think,
Yeah.
and put it, in an email or in a
whatever you're
whatever it
writing.
is. Exactly. So I think that there's a part of me that always saw through that lens.
Yeah.
Again, it's I'd say the biggest difference is being so close with you with a physical disability.
Yeah.
Is that I get to see all the nuance.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people, there's I wonder what is their internal and external life like when I just see them sort of walking, as I'm walking in the grocery store or something like that.
What was it like taking me to OT and PT whenever I was younger?
So it was really cool to see all the different ways that there was all these really amazing techniques and tools that they had to challenge you.
Yeah.
And to try to get you to be comfortable in your body, but see how far you could also progress.
Yeah.
With it, and so it was just really fun to observe. I could see the things that they were trying to test, whether it was sort of like dexterity or making sure. I think there was one where you had to step over things, and they were making sure you didn't just step over with your right foot and then come together and step over with your right foot. They really made sure that you did right foot and then left foot all the way over, and really had you maybe push outside of where your comfort zone was when you weren't there, to build the muscles and to do that. And so it was really cool to see that. I mean, I sort of like seeing the applications of what clearly people have been doing to support CP or people with different kinds of disabilities, and seeing how they looked at joy as an individual and said, oh, we can use this tool and this game and this sort of thing, because you were probably 4, 5, 6 when I would take you. But the best was, the absolute best was, if I took you to OT or PT, meant I had to pick you up from school.
Yeah.
And whenever I'd pick you up from school, you'd never remember I was picking you up. And you would scream at the top of your lungs, Uncle Noah, and get super excited. And then you'd grab my hand and show me all around, and show me what your cubby was, and show me your favorite table. And then we'd go and do that, and you'd also get super excited because you always liked the people there. Even if you were sometimes a little exhausted, or it would sort of, take you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You were always super excited to go and see people. So that was my favorite part about it. Yeah.